There's this incredible, untapped power source that's hiding right under our noses. It's not some giant new power plant. Nope. It's actually sitting in your driveway, maybe your basement. It's the smart, flexible energy potential that's built right into our everyday devices.
So let's just kick things off with a pretty wild question. What if that electric car you've got, or the one you're saving up for, could do a whole lot more than just drive you around? What if it could actually help prevent blackouts, stabilize the entire grid, and put some money back in your pocket for doing it? I know, it sounds a little like science fiction, but honestly, it's way closer than you might think.
Okay, so what's the big deal? Well, the heart of the issue is that our entire energy system is going through this massive change. We're shifting over to clean energy, right? Wind and solar. And that's fantastic news. But there's a catch. Unlike the old power plants, you can't just flip a switch and make the sunshine brighter or the wind blow harder. That means our power supply, well, it's just not as predictable as it used to be. And that unpredictability, it creates some serious headaches for the grid. Think of it like traffic jams on an energy highway. You get too much power in one spot, not enough in another, and boom, grid congestion. The cost to manage just those traffic jams in Germany back in 2022, a staggering 4.2 times billion euros. That's a lot of money just to direct traffic.
So how in the world do we fix this? Well, the answer lies in a really cool concept called decentralized flexibility. I know it sounds a bit technical, but the idea is actually super simple. It's about using the millions of smart devices already in our homes, our EVs, our home batteries, our heat pumps, to intelligently shift when they use power, so they can soak up all that energy when the sun is shining and the wind is blowing, and then ease off when renewables aren't so available.
Let's meet the main players in this, shall we? First, you've got home batteries. They can store up that cheap solar power from the afternoon and save it for you to use at night. Then there are heat pumps, which can cleverly preheat your house when electricity is cheap and plentiful. And then, the real superstar here, the electric vehicle. Not only can it charge at the smartest times, but with bidirectional charging, it can act like a tiny power plant on wheels, selling energy back to the grid when it's needed most.
So you're probably thinking, this sounds great, right? We've got the tech. We clearly have the need. So why isn't this happening everywhere already? Why isn't your EV already a grid-saving, money-making machine? Well, that question right there, that's the central mystery we're unpacking today. And here's the answer. It's surprisingly straightforward. Just having the technology isn't enough. These smart devices, they're like a team of brilliant employees just waiting for instructions. They need the right motivation, the right incentives, which in this case means clear price signals from the market that tell them not just when to help, but, and this is so important, where their help is the most valuable.
Now, how those signals get sent is where things get really interesting. Right now, most of Europe uses something called zonal pricing. The best way to think about it is like having one weather forecast for an entire country. It's simple, sure, but it completely hides all the local thunderstorms or sunny spots. The smarter way is nodal pricing. Think of it like surge pricing for your electricity. It creates all these tiny local price zones, revealing exactly where the grid is stressed and where help is needed most.
And this map, wow, it just shows you exactly what we're talking about. This is what a grid with nodal pricing could look like. You can see right away it's not just one flat price for everyone. The green areas have plenty of cheap power, but the orange and red areas, that's where the grid is really feeling the strain. It makes the invisible stress on our power lines suddenly visible through price.
The researchers who looked into this, they put it really well. They said that the current zonal system provides imperfect incentives. What does that mean in plain English? It means it's sending the wrong instructions. It's telling all those smart EVs and batteries to make decisions based on a blurry national average instead of the sharp reality of what's happening on their local street.
So, what happened when these researchers actually modeled the true local value of this flexibility? Well, they found something pretty amazing. Take a look at this chart. Along the bottom, you have all the different locations on the grid, kind of sorted from least to most stressed. And on the side, you have how valuable flexibility is. Now, for the first 90% of locations on the left, that value is, pretty consistent. But then, just look at what happens on the far right. For that critical 10% of the grid, what they call flexibility hotspots, the value just absolutely skyrockets.
How much does it skyrocket? We're not talking about a small bump. In these critical hotspots, using your bidirectional EV to help the grid isn't just a little more valuable, it's up to 3.4 times more valuable than it is in an average spot. That is a massive hidden potential that our current system just completely ignores.
This scatter plot right here, this shows us the problem in black and white. See that diagonal line? That represents a perfect world, where the market price always matches the true value of that flexibility. But now look at the dots. On the left side, for the less stressed areas, they're pretty close to the line. It's working okay. But look what happens on the right, in those super valuable hotspots. The dots fall way, way below the line. That gap, that's all lost value. We are failing to pay for help right where we need it the absolute most.
All right, so what do we do about it? The research really points to two main paths forward. Option 1, the first best option, is a complete overhaul. Rip out the old system and switch to that smart, local, nodal pricing. But let's be real, that's a huge political and technical lift. So there's a really promising alternative. Forget changing everything for now, and instead, just surgically target that critical 10%, those flexibility hotspots, with smarter local markets and policies.
And really that leaves us with this final thought. The smart technology, the EVs, the batteries, it's already arriving. It's in our homes, it's in our driveways. So the question isn't really if we can provide this flexibility anymore. The real question is, will our rules, our markets, and our policies get smart enough, fast enough to actually use it? The future of a stable, clean grid might just depend on the answer.